Welcome back to your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit, where we break down the biggest shifts in the automotive and trade world. On April 19, 2025, a seismic move rocked global shipping lanes. China abruptly delayed $10 billion worth of U.S. cargo at Shanghai, citing routine inspections. But don't be fooled. This wasn't about paperwork. This was a power move in the escalating U.S.-China trade war. Today, we're diving under the hood of this unfolding drama, from the cargo delays crippling supply chains to the new tariffs threatening to ignite a full-scale trade bloodbath. Buckle up, gearheads. Here's what you need to know. Shanghai port delays, tactical strike disguised as inspections. When news broke that Shanghai, the busiest port on Earth, was delaying U.S. cargo, the official explanation pointed to environmental and safety checks. But veterans in the shipping industry and logistics pros quickly smelled burning rubber. This was a tactical retaliation against rising U.S. tariffs. Shanghai isn't just a busy port. It moves 17% of China's total trade and nearly 47 million containers a year. And now, $10 billion worth of U.S.-bound goods, from semiconductors to EV parts and critical medical supplies, are jammed in neutral. Supply chain analysts already report a 20% spike in backlogs just 1 week into the delays. Unlike the 2018 skirmishes that targeted soybeans, this time China's shot hit America's tech and healthcare sectors right in the drivetrain. Rather than slapping on formal counter tariffs, China's opting for soft strikes that sidestep WTO penalties. A classic high-torque move, silent, powerful, and with maximum disruption. But the story doesn't end at the ports. Let's look at how the ripples are already hitting your daily life. Ripple effect. Supply chains buckle, prices surge. A $10 billion shipping jam isn't just a figure. It's already steering into your daily life. Semiconductor shortages are throttling electronics production. Insiders hint that iPhone 17 pre-orders could face 2-month delays, while laptop inventories could dry up by July. Meanwhile, automakers like Tesla, Ford, and GM are bracing for critical EV battery shortages. With 70% of components sourced from China, small fleet operators relying on electric vans are already being warned of delivery delays stretching into 2026. But the most alarming pit stop? Medical supplies. Nearly 40% of U.S. syringes and 30% of diagnostic kits hail from China. Hospitals are already flagging shortfalls just as flu season gears up. Prices are shifting into high gear too. The National Retail Federation forecasts 5% to 10% hikes across electronics, auto parts, and appliances by mid-2025. That $500 smartphone? Try $550. That $20,000 commuter car? Now flirting with $22,000. And with demurrage fees between $100 to $200 per day for each stranded container, costs are snowballing fast. Before we accelerate into the next chapter, take a pit stop, smash that like button, and subscribe to Piston Pundit for more no-nonsense automotive and trade updates. Now, let's shift gears into how tariffs are turbocharging the entire trade war. Trade war turbocharged, tariffs, fees, and a supply chain bloodbath. Just as the Shanghai slowdown was sending shockwaves through the economy, the U.S. fired another volley, a new tariff, or rather, a bombshell port fee. Starting October 14, 2025, Chinese-built vessels will be slapped with fees ranging from $1 million to $3.5 million per ship to dock at American ports. Port authorities are revving up the warning lights. Gene Soroka from the Port of Los Angeles, a port supporting over 1 million jobs, warned that even a 10% drop in cargo could trigger mass layoffs. Meanwhile, container traffic from China has already skidded 25% lower. Major shipping lines are scrambling for a workaround, trying to replace Chinese-built ships with South Korean and Japanese vessels. But COSCO Group, China's maritime giant, holds a fleet heavily tied to U.S. lanes, and it's stuck in a rough patch. Retail giants like Walmart and Target are bracing for stock shortages, importers are hoarding goods in bonded warehouses, and trucking companies are watching freight volumes fluctuate like a tachometer at redline. The outcome? We're looking at a drawn-out, messy trade war, and everyone from tech buyers to weekend warriors hunting for car parts will feel the heat. And as trade tensions throttle logistics, the US is trying to catch up. Let's look at how. The battle for supply chain supremacy, America's delayed response. To counter China's economic moves, the US has invested billions through the CHIPS Act and Inflation Reduction Act, aiming to boost domestic semiconductor and EV battery production. But here's the challenge. Most new plants won't be operational until 2027 or later. In the meantime, vulnerabilities loom large. China still commands 70% of global EV battery output and 80% of rare earth mineral supplies vital for electronics and green tech. Rerouting through Japan, South Korea, or Vietnam offers only partial, costly relief, nowhere near enough to bridge the gap. The shipping crisis has spilled into the skies too. Air freight bookings from China are down 30%, slashing cargo volumes at key US hubs like Chicago, Dallas, and Atlanta. Shipping costs from Vietnam and Cambodia are spiking by 15%. Washington is readying further tariffs if talks collapse, but experts warn a full decoupling from Chinese trade could slice 2% off the US GDP, a hit worth hundreds of billions. Meanwhile, China is moving fast, deepening trade ties across Europe and Asia. The clock is ticking, and America's supply chain endurance is about to face its toughest challenge yet. But the bigger picture here isn't just about trade or tariffs. It's about geopolitical power. Let's zoom out. The bigger picture, from trade war to global tensions. Beyond tariffs and port delays, the US-China standoff signals a deeper battle for global influence. Both Republican and Democratic leaders now treat trade as a national security tool. The Ships for America Act, aimed at rebuilding US shipbuilding, directly ties supply chain resilience to military strength. The gap is stark. China builds over 1,700 ships a year. The US? Fewer than 5. This heavy reliance on Chinese industrial output leaves America vulnerable, from rare earths to critical medical supplies. Today's shipping disruptions are exposing cracks that could be exploited in future conflicts. COSCO's struggle to reroute its fleet shows how targeted economic pressure can cripple even giant state-backed companies. But analysts warn of side effects too, like soaring freight costs, less competition, and fragile supply chains. If these trends hold, the 2025 Shanghai shutdown could mark the start of systemic decoupling and possibly ignite broader geopolitical flashpoints, especially around Taiwan and the South China Sea. Supply chains are no longer neutral highways, they're battlegrounds, and the real contest for global power has only just begun. So where does this all leave us? Let's wrap it up. Final verdict. Are we facing a new economic Cold War? The $10 billion cargo blockade, soaring port fees, and retaliatory tariffs aren't just temporary roadblocks. They're signs of a deeper, high-stakes power struggle reshaping the global economy. America's push to revive manufacturing is real but rocky, bringing higher prices, job shifts, and fierce global competition. Meanwhile, China is counterpunching faster and sharper, like a finely tuned machine built for domination. The real question: will these tensions spark a global economic realignment, or something far more dangerous? We're entering an era where supply chains aren't just trade routes, they're battlegrounds. And the road ahead? It's going to be anything but smooth. Before you go, tell us in the comments, do you think America can rebuild its supply chain dominance in time? Will China's grip on key industries reshape the global order? Is a full decoupling from China realistic, or a road to disaster? We'd love to hear your thoughts, your predictions, and your experiences. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest updates from your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit. Thanks for watching. And until next time, stay fueled and stay informed. You can now check out any of the videos on the screen. There's plenty more to explore.